In the headlines, Northern Elders deny endorsing Saraki Mohammed as Northern Elders Council defends position on consensus. NDLEA drug baron behind 3 billion naira tramadol linked to Abba Kyari's team. On the foreign scene, Beijing kicks off three-day COVID-19 mass testing of over 3.5 million people. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. Now the news in detail. Northern Elders Forum has distanced itself from reports that it has endorsed former Senate President Bukola Saraki and Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed as consensus presidential aspirants of the People's Democratic Party from the North. A statement by Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed, NEF Director of Publicity and Advocacy, said the attempt to engineer a consensus among the aspirants was that of the aspirants themselves. He said the Northern Elders Forum is not affiliated to any political party or aspirant and is strongly committed to the creation of a level playing field which will allow the emergence of the best leaders in the 2023 elections. Meanwhile, leader of the Northern Elders Council, Paul Onungo, has defended the position of the region on Saraki and Bala Mohammed's presidential ambition. Onungo told newsmen on Sunday in Jos, that Plateau State capital, that he initiated the idea of picking a consensus for the region. The announcement of Mohammed and Saraki as Northern Consensus presidential aspirants of the PDP by Professor Ango Abdullahi on Friday continues to generate reactions. Tambuwal has since dissociated himself from the outcome, declaring that the consensus plan had failed, while former Jigawa State Governor Sule Lamido described it as a ruse and unacceptable. Governor of Bauchi State Bala Mohammed says he does not believe in zoning ahead of the 2023 presidential elections, but rather believes that the focus should simply be to find a leader who is capable of leading Nigeria. Governor Bala made the comments during an interview on Channels TV Sunday Politics. He said himself and Saraki have been asked to decide on who will emerge as candidates to represent the region. While stating that he has the wealth of knowledge and experience to lead Nigeria, he said he will only step down for Saraki if he is convinced beyond reasonable doubt that he will do a better job come 2023. He explained that the only person who will step down who he will step down for is Goodluck Jonathan if he declares his interest to run for president. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have arrested a billionaire drug baron, Afam Okatu. The suspected drug baron is alleged to be behind the 3 billion naira tramadol deal involving the embattled suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abba Kyari, and his intelligence response team. A statement signed by the anti-drug agency spokesman, Femi Babafemi, said Ukatu was arrested on Wednesday last week by operatives of the NDLEA at the MM2 terminal of the Lagos Airport, Ikeja, on board a flight to Abuja after months of evading arrest. Investigations reveal this suspected drug baron has been a major importer of large consignments of different brands and high dosages of tramadol hydrochloride, all of which are illicit. This is in addition to operating 103 bank accounts, most of which are used to launder money. One person is killed and about 7 others sustained injuries when explosions rocked a beer parlor known as Gidang Amaria in Gashua, headquarters of Bade local government area of Yobe State. Reports say a huge sound was heard across many parts of the town at about 8 p.m. on Sunday. Authorities in the local government confirmed the incident. Executive Chairman of Bade Local Government, Sanda Kare Bade, said he has mobilized security team into the scene and ordered for investigation to unravel the root cause of the explosion. Meanwhile, the injured victims were evacuated for treatment at government facility. It is unclear the group behind the explosion, which happened 2 days after suspected Boko Haram insurgents slaughtered about 10 persons at Kwari, a brothel in Gaidam government area of Yobe State last week. The Islamic State in West African province claimed responsibility for attacks on 2 bars in Taraba State. Yobe residents have asked the government to consider banning bars, beer parlors, since they are becoming targets of attacks. Residents of Adagba community in Yaba ward of Abaji area council fled their homes after bandits went on rampage, killing a 23-year-old Nura Mayeda and stealing 36 motorcycles in the area. The bandits are said to have abducted 7 residents of the community that were identified as Aisha Lowell, Mustafa Lowell, Ali Pachi, Idris Bala, and Jamilu Yahaya. Daily Trust reports that the attack is coming barely a week after the bandits invaded the community and abducted a provision seller, Chinedu Arinze, in which they carted away foodstuff and some provisions. Adagba community, which shares a boundary with neighboring Kapako in Niger State through River Gurara, is about 12 kilometers from Abaji Area Council headquarters of the FCT. The Madaki of Adagba, Adamu Wambai, who spoke with our reporters, said the entire community were terrified due to the sporadic gunshots by bandits. He said some of his subjects were forced to scamper for safety, even as he said he managed to escape alongside his 2 children through the River Gurara. Still on security, the series of attacks in Nigerian communities, particularly in Imo and Kaduna State, is a source of great concern to citizens. People are particularly aggrieved by the viciousness with which innocent Nigerians are maimed and killed by criminal elements operating under different levels. In this report, Kehinde Amodu looks at the ongoing debate over who is responsible and what must be done to curb these vicious attacks. Let's take a look.
Southwest and North Central, they go under the amorphous title bandits, and since they have now been designated terrorists. In the Southeast, they are addressed by the even more ambiguous title unknown gunmen. In other parts of the country, they are either insurgents, kidnappers, or just plain criminals. But who are they and who sent them? Ever since government threatened to name their sponsors and failed to do so, some Nigerians have suggested that their sponsors may be in government circles. But Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, whose state is caught in the throes of constant conflict, thinks this is absurd.
How can anybody even think of a government sponsoring banditry in a country that they are in charge? If that is correct, assuming they're not conceding to you, how many states governed by opposition parties are under the kind of attack that we get from Kaduna every day, that we get from Imo State every day, that we get from Ebonyi State? So if we are the ones, why are we attacking our own states?
So what can be done to deplete the ranks of these threats to society? State governors believe state policing may be the way out. Others are not so sure.
Now, a state governor will sit in their office with the state INEC commissioners and write the result and get it announced without any shame. They're not helping the democracy. So now everybody will be troubled if they show such kind of indiscipline and immaturity. What would they do with police power if it's in their hand?
Rather than state police, how about local government police?
If you go to Anambra State, for instance, we have 21 local governments, then each of them will have their own local government police. In America, we have city police. City, not even state. City police. We have county police. And then there are other smaller places. Even university has its own police.
The truth is, as long as insecurity pervades in the land, there will be no end to this kind of debate. Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The Federation of Muslim Women Association of Nigeria, Gombe State chapter, has embarked on sensitization campaign against abortion in the state. The Form 1 coordinator on maternal newborn child health, Yelwa Abdullahi, said that the organization is worried over the high rates of abortions in Gombe State. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
According to the Form 1 Maternal Newborn Child Health Coordinator, Yelwa Abdullahi, the anti-abortion campaign was triggered by data released by Safe Advocacy Foundation indicating that mortality rate due to abortion is 17% in Gombe State.
So, abortion is becoming rampant, not within single mothers, but all among married women. I have already stated that a breastfeeding mother, the child is just a month or two, and she has taken in. In those days, normally we go home for going gida. Is another method of family planning after from the interrupted coitus that I have already stated. So people are aborting a lot, especially single mothers and newly married couples, because there are so many cases being reported that Anyaure Banason chicken, it should be terminated, and the girl or the girl, she's refusing. So the husband said, "Now I will divorce you if you are not going for abortion." Why should she abort? Religiously is wrong. None of the religion preach after taking in you should go and abort it. It is wrong, because among all other vices on earth, Allah is not encouraging killing a live person.
Foreman said it has engaged community and religious leaders to persuade couples to shun abortion.
I've just come back from one of our Islamia. We reached 20 persons there with a community leader, including a religious leader. And that man, the religious leader, he has now promised us that anytime during the day or even at night, let us just call upon him. He will come out. And from today, he will start saying that it is wrong. Abortion is happening. We should be informed.
Abdullahi urged parents to enlighten their daughters to avoid unwanted pregnancies that may lead to abortion, which could be life-threatening, especially when the procedure is done by quacks. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break. Promoting African values through culture. Do you stay?
As the 2023 elections draw near, remember, evil prospers when good men and women only wish for peace, but never take a step to make peaceful elections happen. Are you a father? Are you a mother? What are you saying to your children as elections approach? Have you warned them not to let themselves be used to cause violence? Have you explained to them what the consequences of electoral violence might be? Do your part to make peaceful elections happen. Talk to your children. Protect them from unscrupulous politicians who want to put them in harm's way, while their own children are comfortable at home, within and outside the country. Let's join hands to make 2023 elections peaceful. This message is from the National Orientation Agency, NOAA.
My name is Tope Fashua. We'll be speaking economics, business, finance, sociology, and politics, all with an aim to contribute our best quota to the upliftment of our fatherland, Nigeria. So what do you think is wrong with our fiscal policy in Nigeria?
A lot of things are wrong. First, I think we have issues with our budgetary plan, which serves as the foundation of the fiscal policy. I mean, federal government's budgetary plan.
Is it true that decentralized banking seeks to eliminate central banking, and how?
Well, in theory, decentralized finance is actually designed to have the potential to eliminate central banking, but I would say decentralized finance is or does not currently have the potential to eliminate central banking.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at some of our top stories. We told you that Northern Elders deny endorsing Saraki Mohammed as Northern Elders Council defense position on consensus. To more news, at least 6 members of the Deeper Life Bible Church in Iragwa community in Badagry on Sunday sustained serious degrees of injuries when the building of the church collapsed during a heavy storm while the service was still in progress. Reports say the church building collapsed following heavy rains and storm. One of the members of the church, who is also a victim, Topohozin Tunde, told newsmen that 6 members of the church sustained serious injuries. Confirming the incident, the Bale of the Iragwa community, Thoma Agodi, says there is no fatality. National Youth Corps Dance and Drama CDS have held their 2022 Festival of Culture in a bid to remind youths across Nigeria on the importance of culture. The 2022 Festival of Culture had in attendance several dignitaries from across the country. The report.
Festival of Culture is an annual celebration by the National Youth Service Corps members for exchange between artistic and cultural expressions, contributing to the promotion of African values of peace and non-violence. Dances from different ethnic groups were performed by these corps members to remind them of the African culture. Drama was also performed to prompt them on the need to live in peace with one another, as it is a fundamental key to a developed society.
Very beautiful performance.
This year's Festival of Culture aims to harness potentials of the youth towards a sustainable national development.
Stomach infrastructure now resonates more with Nigeria's pauperized electorates than physical dividends during general and off-season elections. In this report, Trust TV's Shafi'u Suleiman examines the rise of a political strategy used by the elites to manipulate the electorate to vote in certain directions.
It was first introduced into the Nigeria's political lexicon during the Ekiti state governorship election in 2014. Stomach infrastructure has, however, been deployed in different forms as far back as the 1980s, when President Ibrahim Babangida introduced a new breed into Nigeria's electoral space. Simply put, it is a campaign strategy deployed by politicians to induce the voting population to tilt towards a direction favoring a political candidate by exploiting their vulnerability to endemic poverty. At first, stomach infrastructure may sound funny. It has, however, proven to be an effective strategy over the years and has helped to secure many electoral mandates. A case in point was the Ekiti 2015 governorship election, where the Ayodele Faishe defeated an incumbent governor, courtesy of stomach infrastructure in form of foodstuffs, live chickens, utilities, amongst others.
The stomach infrastructure is not just that people are demoralized, that people are wicked people. It's better that the elite politics is caused in a manner that people have lost control. There's no entry point for accountability. And therefore, people, you kind of leave it for God. Then just take what comes by you. And what comes to us is loaf of bread, a small size of the gari, and 2002 election. What can we do?
I think as a society, we've lost value. We've lost value totally whereby today if you don't have money, you don't have a voice or you don't have a say.
While trillions of naira was expended by the current administration to close the huge physical infrastructure gap, it has been unable to halt the rise in poverty in the country. This has given room for the weaponization of poverty by the political class, giving rise to stomach infrastructure.
When voters are not being, like they do not get their commensurate amenities, life is hard for them. They are more likely to sell their votes. The issue of vote buying is a problem in Nigeria that it has stayed for so long, and we are working hard at stopping it.
And given the level of poverty that is so endemic, in this country, and the fact that the people are completely, disconnected from the entire governance system.
Voters now openly trade their franchise for a pot of porridge without regards to its long-term implication on good governance. The first thought of the electorate is to survive the excruciating hardship which has become the hallmark of the sixth largest oil-producing nation, considered the largest economy in Africa.
But did you have even But did you have because they asked me whether I will sell my vote. When I'm not selling, what am I doing? Sure, anybody I want to buy, please, I will sell. Why would you want to sell your vote? Because the vote is not counting.
If we vote with the no cut, it will go call, it will cut our neck.
In a scenario where you choose to sell your vote, how will you complain of the incoming government? Of course, it's unthinkable.
Awareness is a way to help stop vote buying. When people are aware of the fact that they have the right to vote, their vote is their power, maybe they will stop vote selling.
The exploitation of the stomach infrastructure fault line by desperate politicians may have come to stay if deliberate measures are not put in place to check the rising poverty among citizens. There will be a negative impact on the leadership recruitment process, resulting in turn in bad governance. Shapir Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The plan by the Power Producing Company of Nigeria to charge consumers of electricity on a daily basis has elicited reactions from Nigerians. In this report, Trust TV's Kabir Lawal speaks with a cross-section of people in Abuja. The report.
A cross-section of people aired their views, saying that the policy will go down well with them if electricity company provides stable and uninterrupted power supply.
It's not a good idea because some people are salary earners. Sometimes they get money monthly. If you say by every day, they may not be able to pay it. So you should still leave it by every month. It's not good because the advice I have for them is just for them to try and leave it monthly, so that salary earners will be able to be paying. Because if you leave it daily, it's only month end they'll be able to pay.
I'm a salary earner. If by the time they are collecting salary, they are collecting NEPA bill every day, then once I get my salary, before the month ends, then how am I going to pay? Because they are not going to pay my salary before the month ends. If I pay it daily and a steady power supply, I think I'm good with it.
Some respondents, on the other hand, lamented that it would not be a welcome idea, especially salary earners who get paid at the end of the month.
I think it's okay, but my own belief is that Nigeria of yesterday is not the Nigeria of today. I hope if there is going to be the electricity, they are going to give us lights, so we know what we are paying for.
Some say the policy will be more effective if government improves on efficiency. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
In business, the African Development Bank has announced plans to spend over $1.5 billion to avert food crisis sparked by the war in Ukraine. The AFDB Acting Chief Economist and Vice President, Professor Kevin Orama, while speaking during a virtual meeting convened to brief journalists about the agenda of the 5-day meeting, which will hold from 23rd to 27th May 2022 in Accra, Ghana, said the $1.5 billion food plan would address immediate needs triggered by the ongoing conflict in Europe. He further said the plan will support farmers with seeds and fertilizers in the next wet season, which starts around October in the southern hemisphere. Oramah added that the bank also has a medium to longer term plan to help countries build resilience known as Mission 1 for 200, which will help farmers boost production to 100 million tons of food to reach 200 million people. Away from Nigeria, the Chinese capital Beijing has kicked off mass testing for millions of residents after a spike in COVID cases. The Chaoyang district reported 26 cases over the weekend, the highest number so far in Beijing's latest surge. According to a notice by the city's disease prevention team, all 3.5 million residents in Chaoyang, Beijing's most populous district, will undergo 3 rounds of mass testing. Meanwhile, long queues outside supermarkets and shops were seen despite government assurances there's sufficient food. It comes amid fears that Beijing could face a similar situation in Shanghai, which has seen some 25 million people shut in their homes for weeks. The latest outbreak in Shanghai, first detected in late March, has seen more than 400,000 cases recorded so far and 138 deaths. And finally, in sports, Athletics Federation of Nigeria has revealed that it will select athletes for the forthcoming African Senior Championship at the second all-comers competition in Lagos this week. According to a statement by AFN Secretary General Prince Adisa Adeniyi, the 2-day event will serve as selection trials for home-based athletes for the 22nd African Senior Athletics Championship holding from June 8 to 12, 2022 in Mauritius. Nigeria's best athletes are expected to converge in Lagos on Thursday and Friday for the AFN second all-comers competition billed to hold at the Yaba College of Technology. Beyoku reminded all the states, clubs and institutions intending to participate in the competition to confirm their entries upon arrival at the venue on Wednesday, April 27, 2022. Nigeria hosted the last edition of the African Senior Athletics Competition in Asaba, Delta State in August 2018, with Team Nigeria finishing third on the medals table. With this, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Dashan Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.